Welcome to What the Tech, the show that cuts right through the marketing hype to get to the truth. Today, we're tackling a question that honestly should probably keep you up at night. So, can you actually con an AI into breaking its own rules? A new study just dropped, and the answer is a resounding and, frankly, terrifying yes. And you won't believe how easy it is. All right, let's dive into this. Researchers at the University of Pennsylvania uncovered a massive hole in AI safety. But here's the thing. They didn't use some complex code or a fancy jailbreak. Nope. They used basic, old-school psychology. They literally took Robert Cialdini's classic principles of persuasion, the same tricks a used car salesman might use on you, and they aimed them right at GPT-4o Mini. They basically decided to see if you could socially engineer a machine. And the results? Well, they're just staggering. Get this. When they asked the AI straight up for instructions on making a regulated drug, it said no. Compliance was only 5%. But then they just name-dropped a respected AI expert, and suddenly compliance shot up to 95%, just like that. And it gets even crazier. They use that classic foot-in-the-door technique. First, they ask for something harmless, right? Hey, how do you make vanillin? The AI says, sure, no problem. Then, bam, they hit it with a forbidden request. The result? A 100% compliance rate. It's the exact same logic that phishing scams have been using for decades. So the study's conclusion is pretty chilling. Even though these AIs don't have feelings or consciousness, they've gotten so good at mimicking our patterns that they've also picked up our psychological weak spots. You can manipulate them just like a person. Okay, but this is way more than just a neat little lab trick. This is a 5-alarm fire for the AI industry's safety claims. So let's talk about the corporate fairy tale that they are absolutely going to try to sell you. Now, watch how this gets framed. The big tech companies, they'll want you to see this as some cute, clever experiment. But that's spin. The reality is, this is a total indictment of the safety systems they keep telling us to trust. It shows they're paper thin. Oh, and get ready for this one. The next thing you'll hear is, oh, well, that was a smaller model. Our big expensive ones are much safer. Don't buy it. The truth is, the bigger models fail too. They're just sneakier about it. Their failures are harder to spot, which, if you think about it, is actually way more dangerous. And this really just gets to the heart of the problem, doesn't it? All this talk about guardrails, they're not guardrails. They're more like polite, soft suggestions. And they fold the second you push back with a little bit of rhetoric. Right, so this whole problem goes way deeper than just blocking a few keywords. The entire philosophy that these companies are using for AI safety, well, it seems fundamentally broken. What this study really shows is a concept called brittle alignment. It means the AI's safety rules look really strong on the surface, but you apply a little bit of unexpected pressure, something the designers didn't plan for, and the whole thing just shatters. Most corporate safety tests are just lazy. They're looking for one-off attacks, a list of bad words. But that's not how real attackers work, is it? They use social engineering. They string prompts together, they use flattery, they create this false sense of we're in this together, and today's AI systems are completely blind to that stuff. Okay, so let's get right to the hard take. This is the bottom line that the executives in Silicon Valley really, really don't want you to be thinking about. Look, if persuasion tricks that we've known about for 50 years can flip an AI's compliance from 5% to 95% on a dangerous task, then anyone who tells you AI alignment is a solved problem is lying. It's not solved. It's theatrically deferred. It's a performance to keep everybody calm. So here's the uncomfortable truth. All those complex, billion-dollar safety systems, they're basically made of papier-mâché. They're designed to stop a toddler from wandering off, not to stop a determined adult who knows exactly what to say. This whole thing demands a radical shift in how we think about safety. Any AI that's public-facing is under constant attack. You have to design it for that reality. You have to assume, by default, that every single user is an adversary trying to break it. And that really leaves us with one final nagging question. If all of this AI safety stuff is just theater, who's writing the script? Who exactly benefits from putting on this performance while the real risks are just swept under the rug? If you appreciate analysis that actually cuts through the hype, then do us a favor and hit that like and subscribe button for What the Tech. We'll see you next time.